Hey everybody, welcome back to WoW Classic. We are on the Mage today, and we are around the Dalaran shield bubble, behind which is Dalaran itself. Supposedly, we are after elementals here. We're looking for 3 more bracers of earth binding. And we need to be careful because if we pull too many of these guys, we're just gonna have to beat a hasty retreat, so we're basically buffed up. That'll work for now. Let's grab this one while he's swinging wide of those human mages.
I need to get closer.
I hope everyone is doing well today.
I'm out of range.
I'm actually, well, we're preparing for a move back to Michigan, so been in Kansas City, Missouri for the past 4 years. Work was originally what brought me here. And we're actually in process of moving back to Michigan to be closer to family. And it's going to have a bunch of other benefits as well, such as having more space. So that's some stuff that's going on with me. I'm going to try to make sure that I have enough videos recorded so that during the move, I can still have content going up. That's what I'd like to have. But it's exciting to be going back, and it's also, you know, really stressful if you're an introvert like me and you've moved across the country. you probably know some of the stress that I'm talking about. But it's definitely going to be worth it, so. We've gotten that one drop pretty quickly, but now it seems like the drop rate might not be too great. Let's swing wide over this way. I've always wished that World of Warcraft would put in, I don't know if it's necessarily more chests, but just items that if you were to explore ruins like this, that would be worth finding. You know, they could even be just lore books. But it would also be nice to just find some usable gear for your character, like something that rewards you really looking around in places like this, because, you know, it's ruins of the outskirts of Dalaran, which you'd think might be an interesting place to go exploring. You know, if you could check inside of cabinets or wardrobes like this, that'd be great. Just anything to really encourage you to look around in an area to kind of uncover all of its secrets. Right now, nothing really compels you to do that, except going after specific quest objectives, but you're not really compelled to get into the nitty-gritty of areas like this if you don't want to. You could say that just seeing it, you know, could be enough for some people to want to thoroughly explore places like this, but, you know, if you knew that you could stand to find some hidden lore objects, or even possibly some gear, you might, excuse me, you might want to check inside some of these buildings, which, you know, I kind of want to do. I'm just kind of hoping we don't run into enemies randomly. But I'm checking in here with the full knowledge that, yeah, we're not going to find anything, but wouldn't it be neat if we came up here and we found something? I'll leave it to game developers to decide what that would be.
It's too far away.
He's probably gonna outrun. Oh, good. It actually went
I'm
off.
out of range.
You are out of range. That kind of screws up our rotation a bit when we do that, though. Let's run back inside. And we'll just fire some more frostbolts from the doorstep. Ooh, nice resist. Getting low on mana.
Not enough mana.
Alright, well, Not a lot of elementals over here. I see one way back there, but we'll have to go pretty far around if we don't really want to fight any of these mages. Level 34, that's only one level above us, but if we can go around, I would rather just go around at this point. Although we do have a lot of rested experience, so fighting some of these guys might not be a bad idea. To get to these elementals here, we'll fight through some of these summoners.
That's still recharging.
I think she was going to summon in an elemental, and oh boy, here we go. We're going to finish her off, and then we're going to have to drop this guy, because no way do we kill both of these. With our health and mana, it's just not going to happen. But we can definitely drop him. Well, let's waste this, since we weren't really prepared here. I've been pretty excited about Shadowlands recently, so I've been trying to get into BFA and just, you know, get on the Paladin, which is going to be the character that I play in Shadowlands. But it's been really hard. I have absolutely no interest in playing Battle for Azeroth in the state that it's in. It's
too far
you know,
away.
especially as someone who didn't play a lot in 8.3, you just have this feeling of being so far behind everything that it almost makes it not even worth it to play. And granted, there's a lot of catch-up mechanics in the game now that, you know, haven't been there until very recently. But there's just still nothing compelling about getting on and playing at this point. So my Paladin might just be sitting there until Shadowlands releases. Might not be getting a lot more done on that character. Which is fine, because the big changes for Paladin are getting holy power back as a tank and as a healer, so, and that's not going to happen until the pre-patch. So when that happens, when 9.0 goes live, then I would definitely jump back in, and especially if, you know, along with the level squish, if part of the 9.0 patch is the revamped leveling experience, which I don't know why it wouldn't be, because that would allow people some time to have that leveling experience in the pre-patch before Shadowlands actually releases. So if we get the level squish and the revamped leveling experience and the class changes, then yeah, I would definitely jump into the 9.0 patch and probably level a character, just to see the reworked leveling experience. Alright, well, we still need 2 more bracers. We want this guy, but let's try to get some health and mana back first. Nope, he's doing an entire circuit around the place, it looks like. Or at least around this ruins of a building here. So we could wait. If we pull this guy, we're gonna get the elemental as an add, and we don't really want that, so let's wait here for a second.
I need to get closer.
As soon as he gets in range.
I'm out of range.
You did, you blinked right out of range. That was unintended and unfortunate. There's another one doing a loop. just to avoid blinking out of range again. I wonder if we use Cone of Cold enough to justify the talent points that we have spent in it. Same thing with Blizzard. I had taken this thinking that we would try some AoE pulling, but that never really got off the ground. We did attempt it a few levels ago. And then I'm also taking Improved Cone of Cold, which I feel like is kind of serving that same purpose. Where Frostbite might have been really useful, Cold Snap definitely would have been useful. Resets, finishes the cooldown on all of your frost spells. Okay, well, Elemental Precision, we definitely could have used the points there instead of Improved Blizzard. Stop some of those resists that we see going off quite frequently. Apparently we are right on the cusp of two different music tracks here. Alright, this guy's gonna body aggro. There we go. Well, I'm glad we didn't get this mage along with this elemental. That was pretty lucky. When they're still chasing us and we can kind of hear it, and you don't want to turn around because you know it's still chasing you. Yeah, that's what I just felt. Well, we only needed 4. But the drop rate is pretty bad. Which just kind of makes sense for the level that we're at. This is when things start to draw out when you get into the mid-30s, in my opinion. And you have to wonder how much of the time sync is immersive, and how much of it is there to just elongate playing time. Pretty sure that elemental is going to circle through here, down this path. This guy's done, he's gone. No, he didn't. He stopped and turned around. Oh, shit. Oh, that was stupid of us. Well, we are now going to have to drop both these guys, even the guy that we basically have killed, because we're not going to survive a confrontation. It was that resist that went off that kind of screwed that up. And that's why we need to double back and get Elemental Precision instead of Improved Blizzard that we are not using for any purpose. Okay, but we've respec'd this character a few times. So I don't know if it's been long enough for the cost of a respec to go down to some kind of reasonable level that we could afford. Because we have like almost 9 gold. This guy is high level, right? Okay, yeah, level 40. We don't want to go anywhere near him. Oh, hi. I don't really want to be anywhere near you either, but I'm suffering from camera is zoomed in too much. Oh, got a little dizzy there. Okay, let's... Okay, he dropped.
It's too far away.
It's too far away, but soon he's just going to aggro us. Yeah, there he is. Let's carefully retreat, not into the spiders.
I'm out of range.
And run right out of range. That was definitely part of the plan.
That smell isn't right.
probably not a good idea to pull him right near this guy. He's doing some kind of a loop, so... perhaps... oh, look at this, we can grab this one too if we're really lucky. Alright, let's try for him and then we'll get out of the way because I feel like another one is gonna path near here somewhere. Trying to keep an eye out. I see him over there. Just don't know which way he's gonna turn, if at all. Mana is low.
That's still recharging.
Okay, there we go. 3 out of 4. Progress. Definitely not what we wanted to do. There we go. Sorry about that. We've aggroed. We've aggroed a poor worker who's gonna run away with a quarter of his health left intact. That was a nice crit. There he goes. This is the guy that gave us a hard time last time. Not the same guy, but basically the same situation where he ran way early. And then he had a nice resist. And we couldn't kill him. Oh, look at that. What's up there? Level 30 piece of mail? With stamina and strength of the bear gear. That might sell in the auction house. I would have loved to have found something like that, like on my original Tauren warrior back in vanilla. Because of the bear, that is exactly what you want as a tank or even as a warrior DPS. Very nice. We're going to try to sell that. We're going to aim for the stars and sell it for like 2 or 3 gold. And yeah, that's aiming for the stars from what I've seen on the auction house on my server here. And the server is Westfall, which is a North American Eastern Time server, which is actually perfect because I'm in Central Time right now, but with the move back to Michigan, we'll be in Eastern Time, so I guess that's perfect for me. The only problem with that is then being in a guild, when you're in Eastern Time, you're going to be up later than anybody else in your guild. So if the guild, you know, is Pacific Time, that's like worst case scenario. Even if it's Central Time, you're still going to be an hour ahead. So being in Eastern Time has its pros and cons as far as getting a raiding schedule going for Shadowlands. You know, first I'd have to find a guild, so getting a little bit ahead of myself. Do we take this guy out? We need to be careful of the person in the building, but yeah, I think that we do. Let's dampen magic, and let's go. Rune of Opening. Oh shit, well. No. Oh, no, no! Trouble, we've got trouble. I don't know what that's gonna do for me. Absolutely nothing. Hey, we got a lucky resist ourselves. Open certain dollar on seal. What? Wait a minute. Are there actually secret things in here for us to open, like I was ranting about there not being? Now I'm confused and concerned. We're gonna die, possibly? Probably? Most likely? Next firebolt kills us? Oh, we didn't get a next firebolt. Look at that. Okay. I don't know. But I would love to find a dollar on sealed container. That would be a lot of fun. I haven't seen anything like that. this elemental's way out here. I feel like he's tracking us. But that's not what he's doing. He's just patrolling, certainly. Okay, let's get him.
I'm out of range. I can't cast that yet.
That's fine. I didn't really want to blink away anyway. Now I'm gonna hover my mouse over everything to see, like, I don't see any of these containers, but we have an item that opens Dalaran sealed containers, so I don't know what to think. Like, it's a clickable, you click it, and then you have to click on an item with it.
It's too far away.
And I haven't seen anything that looked suspicious, but maybe we'll have another look.
That spell isn't ready yet.
It's not that the spell's not ready. Well, the global cooldown's still going, so I guess, yeah, no spells are ready, right? Oh, 4 out of 4. I still want to look around for these crates. Oh shit, we're about to... Now that we don't need them anymore, they're everywhere. Oh, our blink did not get us anywhere. I kind of wanted to slow that guy down a bit, but I guess he's already slowed down. Nope, that's not how we want to do it. Well, now we're out of mana.
More mana.
So now we just need to drop these guys. I don't know what I thought I was trying to do. Just have a bit of fun with them, I guess. Check these outer buildings. Just as likely to have the container as the inner buildings, but... Maybe we head for the inn? Well, I mean, we've been in the building before. But it's gonna bother me if we don't figure out what these are used for. I'm sure you guys already know and could tell me. And then we could always come back if it is something that I'm just not finding. Come on, we need a big crit. No? Well, we need to rebuff, that's going to take all of our mana. So, there's that. Ouch. Okay. Likelihood of pulling something, pretty high. That elemental, where is he going to go? Okay, good. Let's get rid of this worker. Nice resist. Oh, these guys just scared the out of me. I swear I thought they were enemies running right up on us to annihilate us. Okay. And they're running in here. Which is great, because all we really want to do is explore for anything that we could open. Oh, hi. Off the top of my head, not seeing anything very promising in here.
Still
Alright, we need to take some precautionary measures to make sure that we actually live through this, and namely, we just need to get our mana back. Recast this. Recast that. Okay. Now we'll be okay. Now we'll be okay. So I don't see any containers in here either. Maybe the containers are something that the enemies drop, and then we use the item on those items? Because otherwise, I'm not sure. Like, if I was going to hide an item somewhere, there would be at least one here. I don't know what the hell that was. Not at all. Some kind of spirit. We're going to get out of here. What we are going to do, or at least try to do, I'm going to show you guys the inside of this building here because the last bloodstone is in there. There's a Forsaken we need, but they're heavily guarded, and I haven't been able to force entry to complete this quest. We can get into the building, we can even get upstairs, but then we have to face off against someone who's quite a few levels above us. Now, if I'm right, there's someone over here that we can aggro through the wall, and then there's someone right inside of the building. Yep, so we have this guy, who we basically have to fight right here. Because if we back up towards this wall anymore, we're going to aggro someone from behind us. And then we have to worry about all these shitholes behind us. Okay, this is not my favorite spot to exist. I don't like it over here. We've never had good luck over here. Look at these assholes. We've aggroed more people. We've heard the ah from some random guy behind. Look at, he's coming right over. Here he comes. Okay, yeah, you can tell by my profanity that I hate this place. I don't hate a lot of places in Azeroth, but this is one that I do. Let's aggro the bear while we're at it. This place I've had to run away more times than I've ever had to run from an area in the rest of the game. I can't even think of another place that comes close. Because like I said, we're aggroing some people through this wall, so we can't see them at all. They aggro, they come over, they kill us. These guys literally walk the entire perimeter of the building, which while I think is really cool, I will point out that when you play retail World of Warcraft, especially in the last couple expansions, I don't remember mob behavior like this. This is definitely a classic-ism, and it's great, but it screws you, right? It screws you. You saw me try to kite this guy away from them. That resulted in pulling the ad from the other side of the wall, and they're gonna circle around again. I should be going behind them, but I want to get inside this building before they round the corner. And the same thing here, we're having to put ourselves over in the corner, and then we have to get out of the corner by the time they get back there. Otherwise, they're gonna run in here and kill us. Oh, look at that nicely... Well done. Well done. We need to get elemental precision. This is killing us. It's literally gonna kill us. Because we're gonna run out of mana before we can even get this guy near dead. Come on, Ice Bolt.
My mana is
I know, it's called Frostbolt, but... Okay. We don't have enough mana to make conjured water. Perfect. Let's just stand here for a minute and relish the last moments that we'll be alive. Because like I said, through this room there's a couple more guys and then we have to try to get upstairs. We need to empty our bags pretty soon. And we need to not sell our phalanx breastplate of the bear. I mean, that's perfect at level 30 because then if you're lucky, you can replace that at level 40 with like a piece of plate. Alright. Oh, okay, I don't remember there being two in here at all. I don't know if we could pull them separately, can we? We are about to find out.
I can't cast that yet.
She doesn't know what to do, she's stunned. Oh no.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Oh, you jerk ass. We're not really avoiding many of his swings by doing this tactic, so I am going to stop. And yeah, let's just finish him off properly. Okay, we lived. Great, perfect. Now we have to take care of the one upstairs. There's two upstairs. One of them we can deal with. The other is at a level that I think is level 36, which is orange to us. So we'll see how this goes. When we get our mana back, which with Conjured Water will be basically forever from now. And we're going to need all of our mana, so that makes this wait even more essential and painful. Alright, target number 1, right there. We can get him maybe by himself. I'm not 100% on that. Nope. We can take the one guy out, and then maybe we can run away. It's really the only strategy, in my opinion. We might be able to take this guy.
Snow isn't ready yet.
Well, that's better. I think that's the first time I've been able to take both of them without having to run away and drop one. Does that mean we can handle what is waiting for us upstairs? I'm not convinced. I had originally planned to wait till level 34 to try this again, but we will see. We have a long way to level 34. That's part of the problem. Okay. So we've cleared the stairs-ish. I still... Yeah, okay, so we've got the warden up here. I can't even get a click on her from here. Level 36. I feel like something else happens. Like maybe she summons somebody. Okay. I think she just resisted. She resisted our counter spell. We got her. Oh. Okay. Don't move. This guy's only level 35, and he should have our Bloodstone Owl, so that's good. I don't know what she was hardcasting at us, if that was just Fireball or if it was a Pyro Bolt. Fireball, that was ripping us up. I didn't have Dab and Magic up, so that was a huge mistake. I thought Counterspell would help, but she resisted it, so not good. Let's see if we can take this guy out with some relative ease compared to her.
It's still recharging.
Where's he going? He doesn't know. Alright, there's the Bloodstone Oval. Great. Prison break-in complete. Braces of Earthbinding complete. Ooh. Bellamore's Research Journal. Keegan Darkmar, leader of the small group of undead who came to us in search of asylum from their brethren, defies our common attitudes towards his kind. His skin may be rotting and blood may have long stopped flowing through his veins, but he acts very nobly and seems to care more for his compatriots' safety than his own. Indeed, there is a humanity within him that, I confess, I sometimes see lacking in the humans around me. But why do I mention this? I do so to give credence to what I am about to write, for these words came from Keegan's lips, and it is my hope that my colleagues will, upon reading this journal, know why I believe what he said. Remnants of the old gods still linger in the deep hollows of the world. New forces seek to harness that ancient power, and those who succeed will have a terrible weapon against their enemies. That is what Keegan uttered as he handed his bloodstone pendant to me, and there was fear, and maybe reverence, in his eyes as he did so. And as his hand met with mine, they lingered, as if reluctant to give up the pendant. Revulsion swept through me, yet to this day I know not if I reviled against his dead flesh pressed to mine, or if the pendant itself made my skin crawl. For I feel power within it, a deep, hidden, hungry power, and one yearning for release. Although my colleagues in Dalaran were cautious to study the bloodstones that Keegan and his fellows brought with them, instead of quarantining the 4 refugees and leaving the bloodstones on their persons, the sincerity of Keegan obliged me to study his bloodstone pendant. My hopes were to verify for my colleagues that this type of stone did possess magical properties, and if we wizards of Dalaran did not wish to exploit the power of bloodstones, we should at least learn their properties, since our foes may one day use them against us. And so my studies began. I started my tests with the assumption that bloodstone was a type of rock, like quartz or obsidian, so I began a series of procedures to determine what materials were contained within bloodstone, what forces were applied to produce its color and hardness, and other properties common to rocks and ore. But the bloodstone pendant, to my frustration, did not react to my procedures, as would normal ore. In fact, it often acted in precisely the opposite fashion as expected. It was almost as if the pendant was deliberately following my experiments, like it was thinking and alive. Angered but not discouraged, I switched from assuming the pendant was an inert piece of rock to assuming it was a living thing. But again, I failed. None of my new tests brought to light any revelations of the origin of bloodstone. At the time, the only riddle I solved was that bloodstone was neither living nor dead. But it was then, at the brink of failure, that a breakthrough was made. My latest test involved a glass beaker whose brim was chipped, leaving a small, jagged space along the edge. When the test was over, again revealing nothing, I went to clean my work table and cut myself on the beaker. The cut was not deep, but nevertheless bled fiercely. Before I could wrap my injured finger in a bandage, a good deal of my blood had spilled on my work table. And as I was cleaning up this new mess, I noticed the strangest thing. The blood that had spilled near the bloodstone pendant was slowly moving toward the piece of jewelry, as if gravity had somehow bent itself toward the bloodstone. The blood that touched the pendant seemed to disappear, and the red color of the stone deepened as it drank more of my blood. After seeing this, my head grew light, perhaps from my recent injury, though I did not believe I had lost that much blood, or perhaps because I had finally, after so much frustration, uncovered one of the bloodstone's properties. I reached behind me for my work stool and sat down, pondering. Thoughts and questions raced through my head, dizzying and threatening to topple me. Does bloodstone drink blood? Does it crave blood? Does it attract blood? Or is bloodstone made of blood? And if so, then whose blood? Mine? The blood of any human? Any animal? Or maybe bloodstone is the blood of some unknown thing, the very thing that Keegan had both feared and revered when he handed me this pendant. That is the question that must be answered. It is the key. Fire kindled within me. I then dove back into my experiments. This time, I made no assumptions. We're being attacked. Pause. This was not a good place to read books, guys. We have chosen poorly. We're right here on page 13, though. We're gonna drop them, and we're gonna resume reading on a peaceful hill. I hope we didn't screw that priest over, but oh, good. We'll be out of combat one day. Let's see, this time I made no assumptions, methodically performing every test at my disposal. This increased my required efforts tremendously. But I would be more likely to make discoveries. And although my lab here is small and I have no subordinates to spare to aid, I did find one more intriguing quality of bloodstone. In addition to blood, there are elemental forces fused within the stone. Fire, water, thunder, and rock are mixed with the blood. But again, the blood of what? And although this mixture is outwardly inert, all these forces seem to rage inwardly against each other. So many more questions were raised about this amazing and foreboding material. But to answer those questions, more studies and experiments must be performed on the pendant, and I fear that the Lordimir internment camp cannot marshal the manpower nor the equipment for the task. So I sent the Bloodstone pendant with a courier to Dalaran with specific instructions on how to test it, so they may avoid my earlier frustrations. As I waited for the results of these tests, I spent my time speaking to Keegan. Although I constantly pressed him for what he knew about Bloodstone, he never told me more than what he said the day he gave me his pendant, and he did not often speak of his time within the fold of what he called the Forsaken, which is the name he calls his clan of undead. But Keegan was very eager to speak on other subjects, particularly his time growing up in Lordaeron before its fall. He still holds much love for that lost kingdom, even though it is now ruined and dead. My growing fondness for Keegan gave me patience as I waited for my test results. But after weeks of no news, my patience faltered, and upon further inquiries to Dalaran, I learned that the Bloodstone never reached my colleagues. My courier was somehow lost on the way, and the Bloodstone pendant was lost with him. This is grave news, for although Keegan and his followers still have Bloodstone specimens with which we may experiment, I fear the pendant may fall into unsavory hands. I have sent another messenger to Dalaran, and hear that even now they are scouring for the pendant in the ruins outside our protective sphere. I only hope it is not too late. Okay, that was a lot of reading. Sorry if you guys aren't into that. I like to read all the lore books, and I found that it's really best for me to just read them right when we pick them up. If I try to read them later, I often forget to do so. So that was pretty interesting. That kind of text on these books is actually really hard to sight read. It's totally different than the quest text, and it's just hard to read, but it's worth it. I think we need to turn a couple of quests in here, at least one. Bracers of Binding and Prison Break-In. It's probably Prison Break-In. Whoops. Let's circle the entire building before finding the door that was right in front of us.
What now?
We did find the thieves, and we found out quite a bit about Bloodstone. You have done a great service for the Forsaken. These artifacts have been sorely missed, and it is good to hear that Keegan and the other betrayers have found justice. The Wizards of Dalaran constructed a vast magical dome around the heart of their city. Some believe it was for protection from the violence of these times, while others say they merely wanted solitude to study and plot. I don't care what the reason was. I do care that the ruined outskirts of their city, outside the dome, may hide valuable magic treasures. Something we might need runes of opening to open? But the area is patrolled by wizards and their elemental slaves, so hunt them and return when their numbers are sufficiently reduced. Kill 6 Dalaran summoners and 12 elemental slaves. We have been doing that, but I guess we did these a little bit out of order. We could have been doing the bracers and the kill quest at the same time.
What do you require?
You found them. I trust the elementals from which you removed these bracers were amiable. Death has not only stopped my heart, but robbed me of my comedic timing, it seems. Well, thank you. You served the Magus and hence the Dark Lady well.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Alright, well that got us almost halfway through our level, and we now have another quest to do. Whoops. Alright, these are the elites we still need to finish. Hecular's Rod we still have not found from the Yeti. Patrols, that's we can do that, that's yellow. So we'll be heading back up there next. I'm assuming we do this, and he also talked about treasures. So I'm gonna hang on to all these runes of opening, and hopefully that will pay off. We are gonna take a break here, guys. It might have been a long episode, it kind of feels like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always want to hear your guys' thoughts, especially on places we could quest lines that we're doing, or talent specs. I'm really considering respecking, and just, if I'm not going to do AoE, put these points somewhere else. So that's part of the plan whenever we have the gold to do so. Until next time, take care of yourselves out there in the world, and be kind to each other, and we'll see you again soon. Bye now.